Hello? Are there people here? Like, there we go. There we go. There we go. Okay. Had some problems. There we go. Alrighty. What is up, guys and gals? It is me, Thomas Fan01, and yeah, you cannot understand or fathom how amazing this thing looks in person. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting for this. So that being said, I'm gonna go grab my, actually no, I have my drink here. I have water. Please ignore the laughing woman upstairs. That is my roommate. Or housemate, if you really want to get technical. So, usually we wait around for somebody to show up. So, that being said, if you guys are around and wanting to watch, you're more than welcome to. Hey, there we go. Alright. Going to unbox this now. So stoked about this. I'm so stoked. So, but anyways, I just usually have to wait for one person. I usually just wait for one person. Just one. So, but anyways, I guess we can't really do that. I guess we're gonna have to do this. That being said, if you all do decide to comment, you all do get shouted out at the end if you guys are interested in doing so. So, this guy's gonna be interesting. So, oh, hello. Well, hello there, audience. Hello. Let's get this thing out of the packaging. Yeah, it's a big box. That's a lot of stuff. That makes me smile so much right now. It makes me smile. Oh, what's going on, Jacob Explorers? What's up, Queen Bokoblin? Or Bokoblin, I don't know exactly how you're supposed to pronounce that, but hey, welcome to the stream. I appreciate it. Thank you for showing up. So, yeah, you guys do get shouted out at the end of the video. So you guys do decide to comment and stick around with us till the very end, I suppose. And it's been a quick minute since we've done a Saturday stream. So, usually we do these on Tuesdays or Wednesdays. Sometimes we'll do them on Thursdays and Fridays. But yesterday, for whatever reason, I couldn't tell you what that reason was. But for some reason, yesterday, okay, what am I? Oh, there we go. I apparently need to cut this one. So, there we go. Oh my gosh. Well, this is definitely not something I was expecting to have happen, but, wow. Oh my gosh. This thing is massively gorgeous. And I'm not complaining. This is not a complaint on any part here. Oh my goodness, I'm excited for this. Let's put him back over here. Let's see if I can get him to stand up straight, just the way he is. This was one of those guys that you knew you were gonna. You knew if you found it, you were like, just shut up and take my money. Just shut up and take all of my money. This is slightly frustrating to get this guy to stand, but I know he's got these little hoof pieces down here. I just don't like. I don't like breaking things, and I don't like to be a jerk sometimes with it. So, but damn, this is beautiful. So, like, seriously, I can't complain. I genuinely cannot complain. Like, there's no complaints from me in the slightest on this figure. Like, I've got none. I can't find anything that literally would cause me to not like this thing. I just can't. Oh my goodness, this didn't want to split. There we go. Let's split that. And this gets placed right in the center there. And then this bit goes right here. And then there is a wonderful little tab in here. We can turn him into Katniss Everdeen here. If nobody got that reference, y'all are way too young. So, but there we go. Let's get this all straightened out a little bit more. All right. So, if anybody does decide to comment, you guys are more than welcome to. I am not going to be offended or upset if anybody comments in the chat. Definitely would love to interact with some peoples. Definitely would. You all get shouted out at the end of the video if you do. That's definitely the case. I've never not held up to that promise, so I did not break it. There we go. And now he's got a bow and arrow. That's awesome. So, anyways, right. That being said, if you guys do decide to subscribe for more content, this review will be coming out probably next week. So yeah, please don't forget to do all that fun stuff. And if you guys do decide to subscribe, please don't forget to check out all the other stuff I've done. I'm not ending the stream here. We're not ending this yet. Oh no, we are so far from ending this. I don't know which mode I need to get this guy into. I don't know which one. I don't know which one I should do first. There's 3 different modes. There's Centaur mode, there's Dragon mode, and then there's this mode. Obviously, this mode is the one that you want. And also, he does come with... No. You're not going to fold your head back in there. Am I mistaken? Aren't you supposed to flip this? Yeah, there we go. You can fold this down, and he's got a battle mask now. So, I think that's pretty dope. So, let's just... This guy is going to be he's going to be the figure for everybody to go find in 2025. I highly suggest you guys go and look for this guy, if you can. You need a lot of finger strength for this. You know that SpongeBob episode? You need a lot of finger strength to get this mask back up. There we go. Okay, there we go. But no, if none of you guys knew, this is Onyx Prime, and he is Lord of the Beasts in the Transformers lore. And yeah, I mean, take note. I don't know that he ever did bear the Matrix of Leadership, but if he did, I think that would be pretty cool. So I genuinely have no idea if he did bear the Matrix of Leadership. Seriously, can someone tell me whether or not if he did? Because I genuinely don't know. So, and I'm not trying to say that to, like, be a jerk. I have no clue if he did bear the Matrix of Leadership or not. So, and then, one thing you're supposed to be able to do with this is you are supposed to be able... I genuinely... Aren't you supposed to be able to? And take note, this is where... Take note, I've only seen a couple reviews on this. MGO, if you're watching, that's you. Okay, so how many times do we have to have, or how many different weapon variants can this guy come up with? That's not that. All right, let's unfold this gigantic pamphlet of mystery here. I know there's something else that you could do with it. Ah, that's where it is. Okay. Again, instructions to the rescue. This can be just placed on here. At least that's what it says you can do. There we go. So there we have that. And I gotta say, they did do a very good job with this guy. I am very excited to how this guy looks. Like seriously, if there was one Prime you really wanted to meet, from what I understand, it would have been this guy. And the reason why I say that is because this guy, if we're going to really get on a technical note, in the aligned continuity and in certain other bios that he's ever had, this guy was pretty much like the airbenders of Transformers. This guy was a spiritual leader. If you really want to, and you can look this up, he definitely was. Like there was a time when he literally went into his body went into stasis, and his spark basically went and traveled the known multiverse. So he basically was able to astral project himself into other different alien communities and other alien planets. So he was a spiritual leader, not only just in that sense, but he was also a leader of the beasts. So when the beasts eventually did come out of, or come into the forms of Cybertronians, he basically was there to tell them, hey, you're not savage, you're not this, just calm down, follow me, I'll show you what can be done. So I think that if we're really going to call this guy anything, take note. Dude looks like the Phoenix King. Looks like Phoenix King Ozai. Not even gonna lie. Like the whole freaking helmet, just, oh man, I love how this looks. Let me just up the brightness here real quick. So, but yeah, no, this is where this is at. So you have all of this gorgeous hunk here. And I call him a gorgeous hunk because that's kind of what he is. I mean, seriously, the only time we did see this was at not at the San Diego Comic-Con. The other times we saw this was at the reveal parties that Hasbro seems to always do. So, yeah. So, anyways, anybody want to interact with me on the questions in the comments? And seriously, please tell me which mode you want this guy in first. I'm genuinely confused as to where to go with his modes. He's got 3 modes. He's got a Centaur mode, and he's got a dragon mode. A 6-legged dragon mode. Like, seriously. Back of the box. Centaur, dragon. So, people have been calling that mode a hippogriff. I'm going to say it's not a hippogriff, because this is not what a hippogriff would look like. At least in a gigantic robot. Well, obviously in a hippogriff because he's a fucking robot, but yeah. So, anyways, that being said, this is not meant for children. So, yeah, if all you childrens are here, definitely not meant for you guys. But, anyways, please tell me what you want. I need commenters. Please keep coming into the comments. I need them. The only way we keep the stream going as long as we do. Alright, well, I guess I'll get him into Centaur mode first, because I don't feel like waiting around all too much. But I saw Emgo's review of this guy, so I have an idea of what to do. So part on a requiem, be not afraid. So, that being said, those of you who are not aware, I am a big, well, maybe not big, but I am a heavy metal fan. So I did get to go see Bring Me the Horizon the other night. Oh man, they killed it. Oh my gosh. I had never been to one of their shows before until the other night. Holy cow. I was not expecting the show that I got. That was a show to remember for sure. So, seriously, if you guys did like are not, big, are you not if you're not heavy metal fans, I don't blame you guys because, it's a lot of just freaking screaming all the time. So, can't complain about that all too much. So, be not afraid. Oh man, it was really fun to go to that concert. I ended up getting sick from that concert, actually, which is another reason why we had to postpone this stream from last night to today. If you guys can't tell, I am a little stuffed up, which, again, not a big deal, but I am a little stuffed up in that sense of, So, hey, what's up, Gordon the Glowworm? Hi, I'm a little late. Sorry I missed the other stream. No, there were no other streams. Let me be very clear about that. What ended up happening is YouTube, in their glorious, glorious algorithms and everything of that nature, decided that my stream was apparently not going to go through, and all the links that I had sent out pretty much had just kind of shit the bed. And when I say shit the bed, I mean they genuinely shit the bed, which means like I couldn't post. I genuinely could not post. I couldn't post. I couldn't do a dang thing to stop it. And when I tried to figure out what was going on, it was like almost too late by that point. And I was very, very upset by that because, I mean, hey, nobody wants to have to restart an entire stream and send out completely new links, send out all sorts of different apologies to different groups because you don't know whether or not the link went through. So you never know. That's not good. So yeah, that was the problem that I ran into on the streams from yesterday. So they were supposed to go through, and they did not. But anyways, that's okay. That's okay. I'm not upset over it. I am not upset over it in the slightest. Be not afraid. So, I got leader class Megatron. Hey, congratulations on that. That is definitely one that everybody's been trying to get a hold of. So congrats. Seriously, I congratulate anybody who manages to get more figures on their own terms and what they want, I congratulate all of that. That's awesome. I really think that's dope. So seriously, that Megatron is a great figure. I mean, hopefully you've seen the review on the channel already. That being said, if you haven't seen the review on this channel, don't forget to subscribe. So, but that being said, this guy was a pain in the ass to find. Megatron is actually pretty hard to transform, but okay. I personally didn't find him all that hard, but it could have been. I could be wrong, but I gotta say, it's a really nice transformation once you finally get the hang of it. So, I mean, it's a pretty good one. And then the Studio Series 86 Grimlock, that one's been copied and pasted so many times, it's like, why bother? So, but that being said, we have here, I'm so excited that we have 6 out of the 13 primes here. I do have Prime and I do got Solus over here, so. And no matter what way you look at it, Solus will always be Megatronus's girlfriend. There's no way around it. You can't tell me otherwise. That's exactly how I do this lore. Is that Megatronus has a love relationship with 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 Solus. So yeah, I'm gonna try to get Leader Class Soundwave when he comes out. So that being said, I actually have some news about that. So that Leader Class Soundwave, they finally released the release dates for them and when they're going to be able to be shipped out, and they're not coming out till February next year. But then again, I am not going to complain about that because of the fact that there's going to be another wave of Studio Series and Age of the Primes before they come out. And that Soundwave, while freaking amazing as it looks, dude, okay, real quickly, this is what frustrates me about Hasbro and that. Number one, why would you actively give us a legacy Soundwave with all the cassette tapes we were missing and then turn around, redo the mold, and then go, okay, we're just going to sell it as a leader class again? That was where they lost me. I was like, you had me, then you lost me, and I'm like, it's not a good look. And take note, it's kind of the same thing with Microsoft right now and their stupid Game Pass prices that they're telling everybody to have. My gosh, have you guys seen that? My gosh, it's so dumb. So Microsoft, in their infinite wisdom and their so genius marketing tactics, have decided that they are now going to change the Game Pass price from $20. Let me actually, if we're going to really get on top of this, then I'm going to need to tell you guys the whole story about it, which is the fact that Game Pass went from $20 a month to 30. Hold on here. The Titan Age of Extinction Grimlock is good. That's what it was called, right? It looks pretty cool. It is the Titan class, and you are correct. The Titan class Grimlock in Age of Extinction. You are absolutely correct on that front there, Gordon the Glowworm. Is this supposed to be rotated around? Have I just been doing this wrong this whole time? I don't think that's supposed to be that way. I genuinely don't think that's supposed to be that way. But no, you are correct. The Age of Extinction, Grimlock is what's coming out probably next year. So like, don't fret about that, because that is one I definitely have on my bucket list, and I probably will eventually take a look at it. But as far as the fact that that was the Titan that they released, I'm a little disappointed by that. Take note, I'm not upset over the fact that we're getting another Titan, and take note, I'm not upset that we're getting our first Studio Series Titan, which is technically a lie on Hasbro's part, because they're like, it's the first Studio Series Titan. No, it's not. If we're really going to get technical, the first Studio Series Titan was actually Devastator, and they released it in a multi-pack. So, yeah, not to mention 86 Devastator goes in the same category. So, I am not sure where Hasbro is getting the idea that this is the first Studio Series Titan, but yeah. So, that's what it was called, right? It looks pretty good. It does look good. And take note, I am looking forward to the rest of the Dinobots from Age of Extinction coming into that form of Titan class. Excuse me. My apologies, folks. I did get sick over the week. So, there's the problems that I was very, very concerned about. So, there is a slight issue with the wings here, and these pieces are almost too big. And when I say almost too big, I mean they genuinely are almost too big, because you're supposed to stay tabbed in like that, but when you move them or rotate them, they lift up and come out of that socket. So I don't like that, and that's not a good look. But I definitely don't... Oh, don't do that to me. Seriously, you guys saw me unbox this thing, and I'm the type of person who does not like to have any type of nonsense with this type of thing with a figure. And if the fact that that was immediate, I'm a little concerned. I'm genuinely concerned now for this, because I don't think certain things are supposed to fold in certain ways, and they're doing so anyway. So, yep. There we go. Okay. I might take a hairdryer to this and just make sure that everything is okay. I might take a hairdryer to this and straighten some stuff out, but that's the only thing I would actually do. So, all the ones that should come out in 2026 look pretty good. I think they look okay. I think there's some issues with a couple of them. Actually, let me be very clear about it. There's a couple figures that I would definitely like to look better, but at the same time, I also know that if they release them as is, people are not going to entirely too much complain. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie. The final wave for Age of the Primes 2025, I am not a huge fan of that. This wave 3 is not the final wave for 2025. There's gonna be a fourth wave that they're gonna release next month. Maybe not next month or the month after, but the point is that they're going to be releasing more Age of the Primes figures, and they're going to be releasing more Studio Series. But the problem is that because they literally have them all on backlog, and they have to wait for people to pre-order so they can make more money to, basically get more plastic and everything. I can't condone a pre-order until I see a finished product. And the Age of the Primes wave that's coming out, I'm very, very disappointed in them for that. Like Jalopy, animated Retgar, that animated Retgar pissed me off. That pissed me off so freaking much to see that. And the reason it pissed me off so badly was because why on earth did you reuse the Trashmaster mold? It was not a good mold. It was a bad mold. Like seriously, I call that one a bad mold because it is supposed to be a parts former gimmick for the whole Junkion team, which again, not a problem. My problems with that one lie solely, and I mean solely, in the fact that they chose to be lazy. They didn't need to be lazy. They chose to be lazy. That's what pissed me off about it, is that they chose to be lazy over that. They didn't think they didn't think fans would notice, they didn't think fans would care. But that's kind of what fans are going to talk about, is how lazy you were with it. It did not make me smile to see that animated Retgar did not make me happy to see. So, hold on here. You are right. They could have done better for some of the ones for 2025. I mean 2026. But overall, I'm not gonna lie, some of them do look pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. There are a few that do look pretty darn good. Like, I'm very much looking forward to Amalgamous Prime. I'm definitely looking forward to, what was it? The Mammoth Prime, or what was it? Big Convoy? I can't remember exactly which one he was, but I'm looking forward to that one for sure. I'm definitely looking forward to what they're gonna do for 2026 because, as you guys know, on certain parts of the packaging, and it's kind of difficult to pull it off here, but that's supposed to be Mammoth Prime here, or whatever his name is. That's Amalgamous, that's Quintus, and that's Onyx. They also are going to have to give us they're either going to give us a Commander class Power Master Optimus Prime, or they're going to give us a Leader class Power Master Optimus Prime. I do not want another Titan Prime in there, okay? Now look, I'm not saying that Star Optimus Prime or Star Convoy is a bad figure. I'm not saying that's a bad figure in the slightest. I think it's actually a pretty cool and kick-ass looking figure. Where my issues with that figure lie are solely with the fact that it's a Titan class, and it's a Titan class that hardly anybody really knows about. So that's my issue with it. And where am I supposed to store the weapon? I genuinely don't know where I'm supposed to store this. So, hold on here. One thing I forgot to mention earlier is how I have Leader Class Megatron, and I feel like I have to get Leader Class Optimus Prime. It's okay. Oh, dude, don't feel like you got to. I do know that they're going to do a special release of the Studio Series Commander Class Optimus Prime as a regular standalone Leader Class. So I know that that's coming, and I know they're going to do two to three different variants of it. The first one, they're going to just re-release Optimus Prime as is, and that's honestly a great thing that they did not need to do, but they're going to do it anyway because people have been begging and asking for a re-release of just Prime instead of getting, Prime, the trailer, and having to spend the Commander class price point for it. So that I totally understand. The second thing they're going to do is they're going to re-release it as Nemesis Prime, which, again, not that big of a deal. And the third release they're going to do is the battle damaged one. And for those of you who say that the Chinese battle damaged one that they just recently showed off, that's not battle damage. Hold on here. Really, I think one of my parents are going to end up getting Leader Class Optimus Prime for me for Christmas. Hey, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, that's nice, but take note. It's that Leader Class Optimus Prime is not going to show up for a quick minute. It's a Commander class right now. And if it does show up, I mean, great, but it's a Commander class, so you're going to get the trailer, roller, the effects parts. You're going to get all that stuff with it. So, I mean, that's where it stands right now, is it's at the Commander class price point because they haven't released the Leader Class one yet. So, I have a feeling, though, that probably by, I want to say June of next year, that I know for a fact one of them showing up in the More Than Meets the Eye collection, which is already starting to show up in Targets around the U.S. and also at certain select toy stores around the globe. Which, again, that's cool and kick ass. So I think it's great. But let's continue with those variants of Optimus Prime. The Chinese version of the Commander class Optimus Prime, I would just like to point out that is not the definitive version of Optimus Prime you should get. I'm going to tell you that right now. It is a waste of money if you buy that Chinese version. It is a very, very big waste of money. And the reason I say that is because it is literally just the Commander class figure with the inside of the Matrix chamber painted. That's it. There's no battle damage. There's no none of that. But they advertised it as battle damaged, and they advertised it as more detailed. And it's like, yeah, that's great. You can advertise it as that, but is it actually that? No. So that Chinese Commander class one is 100% false advertising. Now, the next, so like I said, I know they're going to release that Optimus Prime again. I know they're going to re-release it as a Leader class and as a standalone. I know that one of them is going to be a Target exclusive. I think actually two of them might be a Target exclusive. And I believe that one of them is going to be a... It's not gonna be an exclusive that you can just go waltz out and go buy. So, yeah. But there is that catch, and I do know that they're like I believe they're gonna make four of them. I know I said three, but I'm fairly certain a fourth one's gonna be in there because next year is the 40th anniversary of the 1986 movie. So I have a feeling they're going to re-release that Optimus Prime in cell shade. So I think that would be kind of cool. Which they kind of did that for the 30th anniversary or the 35th anniversary for Transformers, like they did back in 2019, 2020-ish area, back when they released the Siege figures. Oh, my head hurts. So, but no, that's where things went with that. So, yeah. water is good for people. So, but I also know that they're going to be releasing that Optimus Prime and that Megatron in a 2-pack. I do believe it's supposed to be $110. That's what I saw the listing for. I'm not trying to say that because it's like it's supposed to scare you. So, but hey, that's what happens. That being said, if you guys are interested, please do not forget to hit that subscribe button, as we are definitely going to be taking a look more in depth to this guy, which I'm just stoked that we even have. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I was very leery about doing the Age of the Primes because take note, the only Prime that they had announced at that time was had just only announced this guy. They only had just barely announced this dude, and everybody was like, "Oh, it's gonna be a recolor. Oh, Megatron's gonna be a redo." And that was not what actually happened. And I gotta say, shame on the people who thought it was gonna be a repaint or a redo of this guy, because this guy's in the league all of his own. He's in the league with all of these guys. So, yeah. Alright, let's check the comments here. Another thing about the leader class of Megatron is when I got him, he kind of made me like Megatron more. He became one of my favorite characters. That's cool. I mean, Megatron's been one of my favorite characters for the longest time because I always felt there was more to his evil side that nobody really understood. Like, for example, the fact that he always just bitch slaps Starscream all the freaking time, but yet Starscream doesn't ever get killed. So, I always thought there was more to that, which is why I like the Transformers 1 movie, because they decided to give Megatron a bit more of a reasonable, well, maybe not reasonable. They gave him more of a reason for why he became the way he became. So, I find it kind of interesting that they painted Optimus Prime, actually, and usually Zaga, the animator, is here. Yeah, I know, usually he's here too, but, I mean, sometimes he isn't. Sometimes he isn't. But if he is here, that's great. But, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. If he doesn't show up, he doesn't show up. That's his choice. He can do that. I'm not upset with him. Everybody still gets shouted out at the end of the video. So, but, yeah. Ugh. So, yeah, usually Zaga's here, but I think he's busy this weekend. I don't know what he'd be doing this weekend, but I know Riveted Rail fan's been busy this weekend. Oh my goodness. Oh, that being said, so I went to a concert on Tuesday, and to that being said, I don't know if any of you guys are like metal fans or like new metal fans or straight up just screamo fans. Um, I got to tell you, this concert was 100% in my bucket list as soon as the show started. Like, the show started and I was like, damn, I don't know who you are, but I do after this concert. So the concert that I went to go see was the Bring Me the Horizon show with Amira Elfiki, The Plot in You, and Motionless in White, and Bring Me the Horizon. I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm a huge Motionless in White fan. So I gotta say, I loved that show. That was a show for the ages. Like, holy damn. And let me be very clear about this. Amira Elfiki is basically like really early Evanescence, if I had to throw a genre type out there in lieu of what her music style is. To which I gotta say, I can't complain. I cannot complain by that. So, seriously, if you guys are metal fans and you guys are able to go check those people out, go check them out. Especially Amira Elfiki. She's fucking awesome. Also, did you see the Halloween animatronics of 2025? If you have, what's your opinion on them? I really like the Santa art, the clown from the Terrifier. Kind of off topic, I know. No, it's not. It's not off topic. Nothing is off topic for these live streams. Nothing. Well, actually, correction. We don't bring politics, we don't bring money, and we don't bring religion into the conversation. Those are the only three things that are off limits. But in terms of Halloween, hell yeah, I know what Halloween is. And I've seen some of them. I haven't seen a lot of them. My personal favorite is there's this gigantic skeleton pirate that I saw, which was pretty darn cool. So, unless it is a fiction, real quickly, unless it's a fictional religion between all of this type of stuff, I will talk about that, but I won't talk about typical religion. I won't talk about typical politics, and I refuse to bring money into the situation. But if it's along the topic of like a fictional universe, I'm fine with that. So, but to continue with this, I have seen some of them. The skeleton pirate's pretty cool. I've seen those ones. Hold on here. I was talking about Spirit Halloween. That must be from Home Depot or Lowe's. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I don't really set foot much into Spirit Halloween because Spirit Halloween to me has always felt like a traveling Halloween store. Like they only come by when a business goes out of when a place of business like completely dissolves and there's an empty building. That's what I don't like about Spirit Halloween is that I feel like they're the ghettoest of ghetto. Like if I had to explain it, I feel like they're the ghettoest of ghetto in terms of like if you're gonna go get your stuff, that's where you go. But at the same time, I'm not saying it's a bad place to go because take note, Spirit Halloween, I laugh every time I go into Spirit Halloween. Okay. And I'm not saying that because Spirit Halloween's a bad business or anything of that nature. But I've always, anytime I go in there, there's always something weird going on inside. There's never been a time where I've gone to a Spirit Halloween and there's never been some weirdo doing something that is so out of place that you literally are like, huh? What did I just walk into? I just wanted to buy I just wanted to buy my costume. I just needed a bowl for the Halloween candy. Like seriously, that is the only thing I was doing, or that's the only thing I ever see inside of Spirit Halloween is always weird stuff. And 9 out of 10 times, I walk in there and have no idea why I was even there to begin with. So I'm not saying that they're bad stores. I'm just saying they're very weird and very strange. But it's a nice weird and strange. So it could be worse. But no, you are correct about that. You are about that. You are correct about that, though, Gordon the Glowworm. Home Depot or Lowe's absolutely is true. And for those of you who do not know what Spirit Halloween is, it's basically a Halloween costume store or a Halloween prop store where you can go and buy all of your like spooky skeletons and your inflatable pumpkins and certain things like that. Or as Gordon the Glowworm had just mentioned about it, the Santa Claus one. Have you ever seen Terrifier? I haven't, but I want to because of that Santa art, the clown from Spirit. I have not seen that one, but I gotta say it sounds pretty cool. It's like the Terrifier. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. So, we'll keep the stream going here for a little while longer. A little while longer. Hold on, let's double check this. So, but yeah, no, it's one of those things where it's like Spirit Halloween is one of those stores where it's like you go there not because you want to, but because you have to. At least in my opinion. At least the ones here in Utah do that. Okay, the ones here in Utah definitely are strange enough to the point where you're like, okay, okay, there's a clown making out with a furry in a dog suit. Okay, I'm leaving immediately. So, so I have not seen the Santa art clown. I have not seen that, no. But I think my personal favorite one that I've seen though is I think I saw. Man, I can't remember what I saw. It was something with a shotgun, but I can't remember. So. Don't you get upset with me. I haven't seen it because I don't usually go to Spirit Halloween. If I go to Spirit Halloween, I'd better have a good reason to be there. And usually whenever I do go there, like I said, there's always something weird happening. Always. So it's never a day where I've been to Spirit where like seriously, there's never been a day where I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go to Spirit Halloween and go watch weird shit. That's not what happens. I don't actively get up and think that. I mainly get up and actively think, where can I get more of these? Not Onyx Prime, but where can I get more Transformers? That's usually where my mind goes. But I gotta say, in terms of a figure right before Halloween to review, this would definitely be it. So, that being said, don't forget to subscribe for more content if you guys do want to see the review for this guy. And don't forget to hit that notification bell either, because that is going to help notify you when we do it. And also, the Lord saith unto man, let there be light. Ugh. You guys can't see it, but I did have one of my lights off and I needed to turn it on. Alright, let's put this insert back in the box. And this can then be used for a later day. So, I am excited though because I am really looking forward to seeing if I can find or get a hold of that beautifully looking A3. Like that figure. I could 100% get on board with that. A young Alpha Trion, I need that figure. So, yeah, definitely need that figure. So, but no, as per usual, we don't usually look at the instructions for that. And they get put right in here with the other ones. So, yeah. That being said, I would like to see if we can personally make it to 2,000 subscribers before the end of the year. I would love to see if that could be achieved. So if you guys definitely could do that, I can definitely do my best to get more figures in. No guarantee I'll be able to get them all in, but there's a good chance I could. So, there we go. That's why we had problems. At least I think that's why we had some problems. I don't know why this dragon has 6 legs. I'm very confused about this. Like, I've never seen anything in any mythology that has 6 legs like this, and wings like a dragon, with a tail of a lion, and the claws of... Sorry. I did say I got sick over the week. That concert was awesome, but I definitely got sick at that concert, so yeah. And once again, like I said about that concert, seriously, and here's real quickly, I have to ask this question here. I really genuinely have to ask this question. If you paid $100 for your ticket to go see a show, wouldn't you, I don't know, see the whole show? Now take note, the concert I went to go see was happening at the Maverick Center here in West Valley in Utah. And when I showed up, half of the stadium was not even full when the show started. So my thing is like, if you're going to sit there, if you're going to watch the whole show, watch the whole freaking show. So take note, I showed up at 6 o'clock in the evening. Now take note, I also understand people getting off work don't really get that luxury sometimes. So I get that. That being said, while I'm explaining this to you guys, why don't you leave a comment down below about what Transformer is your favorite, why, and which one you're excited for the most to come out next year. So, but I showed up, to the Amira El Fiki part of it, and her show went off without a hitch. It was freaking awesome. I loved it. And then as soon as that happened, I noticed there was still like it was might have been 3/4 of the way full at that point. And then towards the end of the show, it was so packed that the traffic trying to get out of the stadium was like almost an hour and a half just to get out of the stadium parking lot. So my question is if you get tickets to a show, wouldn't you see the whole show? I mean, that's the whole thing that I was up in arms about. Now, let's continue with the question I posed just before I finished that conversation, or before I finished that thought there. Um, so my favorite Transformer out of the current lineup for this year, I gotta say, I'm very pleased with the lineup that's come out this year as well. So I'm not sad that Megatron came out. I'm not sad that these guys pretty much came out. I'm not upset by any of that. So, and take note, this guy got a second release. So if you did not get this guy in the first round, he is getting re-released in the third round with in the third wave with this guy. The only reason I know this is because I was at Walmart and they were actively doing that. So, well, most excited to come out next year is going to be Soundwave, one of my favorite Transformers once again, Soundwave. Hey, that's cool. So like I said, it's not a bad. The lineup for this year was not too bad, and hey, I agree with you on that one. I'm definitely looking forward to Soundwave next year. But you know what I'm also looking forward to? I'm not really sure why I just kind of like his character. Another Transformer I like is Devastator because I like how there are 6 Transformers and they can combine together to prepare for devastation. I agree with you on that one, Gordon the Glowworm. I can't complain about that. Believe it or not, actually you were there. I think you were actually there. I think for the day we actually finished Devastator. So, well, yeah. When we finished the Studio Series 86 Devastator, it was quite a fun day. Quite a fun day indeed. So, yeah. So, but that being said, if you guys are still trying to get a hold of your get your Devastators, I am going to tell you right now, you can actively, if you go, I don't take note. I know a lot of people don't have access to transportation sometimes, but if you are able to, they have them pretty much everywhere now. Like you can go get the Commander Class 2 pack, you can get your Scavenger, you can get your Mixmaster, and you can also get your Scrapper and Bone Crusher as well. So it's weird. I think for Christmas I'm gonna try to get Devastator. Well, I mean, hey, if you can, great. I think it's good. I think it's a great figure because it is a good figure. So I think it's awesome. I think it's an amazing figure. So yeah, I did manage to get a hold of all 6 of them. So, and to which that being said, I think we need to quickly address something with video games here. I think we need to address something with that. The first thing I'd like to address is to Microsoft and the Xbox team. Firstly, screw you. Who in their right mind changes a price on a set subscription 3 times in 1 year? Just because Nintendo did it early on. To which I still blame them for the current problem with gaming. So, my question is why did you feel the necessity to do that? But the thing is, what I was thinking about is how should I display them? Well, if you're going to display them, I think you should definitely display them with your 86 Decepticons and your Legacy Insecticons. I think it's worth. I don't know. You know what? It's your toy. You can display it however you wish, man. If I have them displayed as Devastator, it will be bigger and probably take up less space. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. If you want to display them, like I said, it's your toy. It'll be your toy at that point. So you display it however you want to do. You want to do so. So, you know. And take note, I'm not even going to sugarcoat this. This set is not cheap. Okay? You're still spending about 90 bucks for the Commander class. You're still spending about 70 bucks for 2 Voyagers, and you're still spending about 50 to 60 bucks for 2 Deluxes. So, I can't say that it's 100% budget friendly, but I can definitely say it's a really good figure if you do manage to get all of it. So when they do eventually release it in a gigantic pack, I have a feeling that they're probably going to the price point for that's probably going to be somewhere around like 220 bucks, like 200 to 220 25 some odd bucks. So and if I have them displayed outside of Devastator, it will take up more room, but it looks like I have more Transformers. Well, that's pretty cool. That's cool. So, I mean, like I said, yeah, if you get it, I'm not gonna say that, I'm not gonna say Santa's doing it, and I'm not saying that your parents ain't doing it, but I mean, it's definitely if it's on your wish list, I definitely can say it's probably gonna be a good Christmas for you. So, but no, I definitely can say this. I definitely want to see the I definitely want to see a couple of things happen with Studio Series. I want to see the Studio Series. I want to see a Studio Series Rise of the Beasts Commander class Stratosphere. I want to see that happen so I can finish my Rise of the Beasts collection. And then as soon as that happens, I want to see the rest of the Dinobots in Titan class form. However, I'm not looking forward to paying Titan class price for them because Hasbro, knowing them and knowing Hasbro, they're going to make them outrageously, ridiculously expensive just to say, well, it's a Titan class. Hey, what's going on, little Erm? How you doing? How you doing? Or little Erm, I'm fairly certain I pronounced that right. Welcome to the stream. I appreciate you showing up. We're gonna show up. We're gonna show up. Smoother than a fresh jar of Skippy. Too hot, hot damn. Not much, just sick. Hey, I'm sick too. If you can hear it in my voice, I'm pretty sick too. So I'm almost over my cold, but still, not fun to get sick. Definitely know the feeling. So, definitely know that feeling. Ah, perhaps this is how this is supposed to go. No. I genuinely don't know, but that's where that's gonna live. So, but nah, you good, dude. That being said, Lil Erm, I don't know if you know, but I did, like I said earlier in the stream, I did go to a Bring Me the Horizon concert, which was, again, like I keep saying, it was a bucket list show. I did not know it was going to be a bucket list show till I showed up. So being sick is the worst. Actually, I'm sick too. I was sick for 3 days. I couldn't go to school, and then Friday I just happened to start feeling not very good again. So yeah, I don't feel you're not doing too good right now either. Well, I have a feeling the three of us here are all sick with different things. I ended up getting a cold from some jackass at the concert, so that was probably what ended up causing me to have that. So I'm not going to complain about that too much. Hey, everybody is sick, but yeah, no, I'm not going to complain. I mean, it is kind of allergy season, and not to mention just not only allergy season, it's also freaking, you know, it's also hazy. It's also hunting season. It's also the freaking weather's changing because we're getting ready to go from fall into winter. And October is the month that it usually happens where everything starts to flip. So yeah, that's definitely a thing. But anyways, so no, I ended up getting sick from that. But I gotta say that the concert was still freaking awesome. How did the dead find a sign of life? I blame the 2-year-olds on my bus. How did you take the number one spot from me already, Lil Erm? I don't, I don't know. I don't know how he did it, but I also really don't think it matters. I don't think it matters. However, if you guys want to have a commenting competition, you're more than welcome to. Just nothing offensive. Otherwise, I will moderate. They freaking coughed on me when I got off. Yeah, that sounds about right. Take note, I'm not going to school till January. I'm going into a medical program, which is quite something I'm excited for. So, but no, I definitely don't. It's okay, dude. Don't worry. Don't worry about it too much. But that being said, what you think of Onyx Prime? I'm actually kind of stoked because I love the fact that they gave this like almost a Transmetal 2 Megatron head. I love this. So, hold on. Pretty sure if you have been in the streams longer, you get more points or something. I would never actually say a bad word. I'd go on it, dude. Like I said, you can, like I said, you can have a commenting war. You're more than welcome to. I go for it. I mean, I don't care if you curse. I don't care what you say, but just if it gets too offensive, I will moderate. So, but no, I think it's pretty interesting that they gave us pretty much a Transmetal 2 Megatron head on a 3-legged and hooved like dragon type deal. But yet at the same time, I have no idea what this is supposed to be. So, but no, like I said, I don't care what you comment or how you comment, but just don't take it too far, and we can totally, that's fine. So, but I don't know how it usually works for who gets the number 1 spot. I don't know how it works for the number 2 spot. I don't even know how it works for how the ranking goes on in there at all. I have no clue. Hey, he showed up. He showed up. What's up, Zaga the Animator? Welcome. Welcome, welcome. It's been a quick minute. So, Griffin. You think it's a griffin? I've been hearing a lot of I've been hearing people call this a hippogriff, but I don't think it's a hippogriff. And I definitely agree with you more on oh, you were at church? Okay, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Church is church. You know, hey. You that's how that works. But anyways, no, that I genuinely don't have any idea what this is supposed to be. And take note, like a 3-legged unicorn, unidragon corn, whatever it be. Well, he doesn't have a horn coming out the top here. So I'm not inclined to call it a unicorn here. Gotta go. You gotta go. Why do you gotta leave? What you gotta leave for, man? What you leaving for? So, but all right. Well, bye. Anyways, so no, I don't know what to call this. So yeah, no, that was fast. I agree with you on that one there, Little Erm. But then again, he could show back up, so I wouldn't be surprised. So yeah, because he has a dragon head and not a unicorn head, so there's no horn. Can't blame him though. It's okay. I wouldn't. Hey, I know things. Life happens, man. It's fine. I'm not upset. I'm not upset at him either. So some people got stuff to do. I agree. Some people do got stuff to do. I definitely agree. Definitely agree with you there. So, but I still don't know what to call this. I've been hearing people call this a hippogriff, but I've never seen a hippogriff with 6 legs. Maybe all you Harry Potter fans can help me out with this. What is this called? I genuinely don't know. It's confusing me, and there's not many things saying what it actually is online. In fact, the only thing that I could really find out online about this guy on the TF Wiki, that being said, if you guys haven't seen the TF Wiki for this guy, I highly suggest you read it. It's very entertaining. I don't want to be mean about this, but you go to church on Saturday. I didn't even know there was anywhere that had a church on Saturday. Yeah, there actually is. Jehovah's Witnesses they go to church on Saturday. Also, Seventh-day Adventists go to church on Saturday. Um, so yeah, I know several religions that do go to church on Saturday. So it's not something that is wrong. And the Jews definitely do go to church on Saturday as well. So, and take note, like I said, this is not a poke at any religion. I'm just relaying information. So, and I do know that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, they are having currently something that is called General Conference, and that is something that happens on the 6th of October, the 5th and the 6th of October, usually, or it's the second weekend in October. That's usually how they judge it, or the first weekend in October. It doesn't, I don't know exactly which one off the top of my head because it's been a minute since I've participated in something of that nature. But I know they have it's basically something that they're going to be it's basically they do a broadcast of worship, and they do a broadcast of teachings and scriptures and stuff like that on TV during the first weekend here. So it's nothing huge, but it's definitely something that it does happen on a Saturday. So, but I can't confirm whether or not what other religions go to church on Saturday. I think the Muslims have something about Saturday, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I really don't. And the same thing goes for what is it? The Hare Krishnas. I think they have something also that goes down on Saturday as well. But again, like I said, I'm not part of those religions, so I have no clue. So yeah, it's not something that I am privy or knowledgeable to. So that's what the internet's for. So so yeah, I can't speak for all religions because I don't know all religions, and I don't know their thought process. However, I am very curious about this. What religion do the Transformers believe in? I genuinely don't know. Like every time they always allude to it's in religious texts, or it's in a scriptural text in the archives. And it's like, okay, well, what religion are they doing this to? And this guy would be the one to know. So, oh, I have a suggestion, by the way. Oh, what's your suggestion? Hmm? What is your suggestion, Gordon the Glowworm? Hmm? I'm waiting on it. In the post, what you say Friday or Saturday, because on the Starscream stream it said 1 day ago edited. Huh? In the post, what if you say Friday or Saturday, because on the Starscream stream it said 1 day ago edited. But then the same day I saw a second post that says 2 days ago edited on the same day that I saw the other post that said 1 day edited. I don't know what you're referring to. Genuinely. What I am gonna tell you is in the beginning of yesterday's streams, or when I was trying to get them taken care of yesterday, what ended up happening is I ended up going to darn autocorrect, but it's okay. But basically, what ended up happening is that video, there were a few spelling errors that I had to fix. So that's kind of something one of the things I had to do there. And the second thing is that when I tried to upload the stream for this guy yesterday, YouTube just kept refusing and refusing and refusing to save all of the progress that I had made, and like creating the thumbnail and basically getting everything ready to go for this very live stream. So what ended up happening is I tried 3 separate times, and on the third time it decided that it was not going to save a darn thing. I just said screw it, we're going to postpone it until the next day. So that was okay, but the Starscream one, the edits on those, it's mainly along the lines of like, oh yeah, I I watched the video. There wasn't anything that I could add to it, but I can pay attention to the spelling in all of the stuff that goes on in there. And I also can pay attention to the spelling in the description when I basically said, hey, come check out my channel, it's down here. To which, by the way, if you do check the link in the description, you can go to the main channel if you are interested in doing so, and subscribing if you would like to do so as well. But that's pretty much the whole gist of it, and it's not my finest moment, but it's also not the worst. So YouTube was just having a fit yesterday, and not to mention to the fact that we also had a thunder and lightning storm last night. The lightning and thunder was so freaking close to our house that we thought there was car crashes happening outside, and it was shaking our house so much to the point where we thought someone actually crashed through our basement. So it was an interesting time to say the least. It's still raining, thundering, and lightning outside, but at the very least, I know what it is, and it's not going to affect this. So. So, yeah. So, yeah. But no, so the reason why we have this guy in dragon mode or in hippogriff mode or griffin mode or whatever. Oh, dude, I didn't even notice this. The dragon head's on a ball joint. That's awesome. I didn't realize it was on a freaking ball joint. I thought this was a fixed in head. That makes things a little bit more nice. I am not complaining. That's nice. It's on a ball joint. I can't complain. Can't complain. Oh, man, I'm happy about that now. The Lord of the Beast has a ball jointed head. Hooray! So. So, oh yeah, that being said, when I was at the thrift store the other day, I managed to come across this, and I'm still not sure how I feel about it. I came across an unpainted and unsanded and unusable Baby Yoda or Grogu, to which, by the way, Disney stole that name. Yes, they did. And if you guys are listening into this, Grogu is actually the name, Rogu or Grogu is actually a secondary name to frickin' Roger's child in American Dad. And the only reason why they haven't gotten any copyright infringement on them is because they bought the rights to Fox. So basically, Grogu, this little dude, and Roger's child have the same name because Disney decided to play God. So, but no, this figure is one of the ones that is going to be, it's going to be a long review. But I'm excited to do it, and I can't wait to get started on it tomorrow. So, all right. We'll keep the stream going for probably another 15 or so minutes to give more people a chance to give a looky-loo at all this fun stuff. I'm not joking. Seriously, Grogu came out, not this one, but Roger's Grogu came out before this. 2019, I want to say, was when that happened. Like, maybe 2018, 2019 was when Roger's Zit turned into a child. And they basically, he kept it just to see if it would be a deal, do something. And then Disney bought the rights to Fox. And then this came out. This is a 3D printed mold, a resin 3D printed mold. I don't know anything about 3D printing. I found this at a thrift store. Like I said earlier, I do not know shit about 3D printing. So, but no, you're not wrong there, Gordon the Glowworm. Come on, Disney, dude, Disney, and please take note. I am not the biggest Disney fan. You should do another room tour at all. Do you want to? I'll show them. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem going aerial with this. Well, I mean, we have to start with the boxes here. So, no, I make 3D prints. You know you make 3D prints, yeah. But we have to start with some boxes here because some of these boxes are actually things that are going on here. You should do another room tour all them transformers. I know I make 3D prints and but anyways, so we have Age of Extinction Prime here. We got this is the reissue of Shockwave. And actually funny story about this Shockwave. I actually got it for 35 bucks. So that was not a complaint for me on that one. We have Ape Link, The Fallen. We have this 3-pack. I definitely have that still sitting in my room. My room's a little messy, so I think I'll bring you in and show you. But we also have Snarl, we got Galvatron. I have more boxes in that green bin right there. That's my stuff that I get rid of. Not this box. That box isn't disappearing, but everything that's in this bin here. So, yeah. It is pretty cheap. It is a pretty cheap price to pay for a leader class that is just amazing. And take note, I just put the boxes of my other figures inside these boxes. Like, so Q is inside of Age of Extinction Prime's box. We've got Bumblebee Skywarp and Age of the Primes Wasp inside Ape Link. So I tend to keep things going there. So anyways, that being said, we are doing something with these drawers here. All right, I'll give you a quick little tour. Taking out the room is a little messy, so please bear with me. But here we have all the butts. All of them. We've got Snarl back there, there's Swoop, Sludge, Grimlock, and Slag right there. So I do have all of the Dinobots like that. And then this is my Halo cabinet because I love Halo. I apologize, it's staticky. I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry. But that helmet is signed by the Master Chief and Cortana themselves. So, yeah, I have all of that stuff. I apologize that you're having issues there, Lil Erm. I'm trying to be as nice as I can. I'm sorry, there's not much I can do about it. It's because I disconnected from certain things. So, just hold on here. I'm slowly going down. By the way, that can of Pringles is unopened. So, yes. Here's the next cabinet, which is all my Autobots from Studio Series 86 and from Legacy as well. So, I have a bunch of those. Yeah, my room is not exactly the greatest right now. So, in terms of connectivity to internet, so it's going to be a little laggy. I do apologize. So here's my entire Decepticon cabinet from Studio Series 86, which is I'm quite pleased with how it's turning out so far. We got Megs in the back there, we got Galvatron, Scourge, we got all the Insecticons, all the Constructicons to form Devastator, and that is my fan mode for the Devastator trailer. And then we have all of this. Some of this is Legacy, some of this is Age of the Primes, but these are my two different collections, and the Age of the Primes goes right in the middle. So there is that, and then there is this little bit that I've got going on here. So I do have a Series X that is a little funky. I painted that white. Hey, what's up, dude? How you doing? But anyways, we got Lego Prime, we got Lego B. We've got Funko Pop Appa. I am an Avatar nerd. Like, seriously, my cosplay is Amon. So, I've got an Amon cosplay, but like I said, my room is a smidge messy, so things are a little out of place. So don't feel too bad. And this energy sword right here is actually signed by Keith David, and it is certified. That is his signature. So I can confirm this is signed by the Arbiter. So, and this actually, I haven't shown this off in a quick minute. This is my mold. This is my 3D printed and painted model of something I recently realized is Fugitive Wasp. Yep, I do have Fugitive Wasp down there. But this is my top hat that I had 3D printed for a project that kind of fell through the cracks, but I kept this one specifically because it was top hat, and it's just I appreciated that a lot more. So, not to mention, you guys can tell I'm also a Thomas the Tank Engine fan too. So, don't get it twisted. I also am a Harry Potter fan too. This is my house. I am a Ravenclaw, so yeah. And then to continue on with all of this other stuff that's going on in this room here, there's a pan with other stuff there. So, but I also have here as well. I don't have Legacy Bumblebee though. You don't need Legacy Bumblebee. Trust me, you don't. Trust me, I had Legacy Bumblebee, I had Legacy Wheeljack, and I did not have Legacy Jazz because I didn't give two craps about it. But here is the three pack. I put Optimus Prime in. I always keep, if I'm gonna have a Revenge of the Fallen Optimus Prime and everything of that nature, this is how it's going to be displayed. So I do have the 15th anniversary Studio Series pack. It's right there. And moving right along to the side here, we've got Hatchet, we've got the Fallen, we've got Shockwave, we've got Sentinel Prime. That's the original Dark of the Moon Sentinel Prime, and the batteries in it still do work. Sort of. Oh, I don't like that. Guess we're gonna have to replace those batteries. But anyways, so we have that, and then we move down to this cabinet, this section of it. This is my Studio Series Movieverse ones that I've got down here. So we've got Blitzwing in the back, we got Nest Bone Crusher, we got Dropkick, we got Shatter, we've got Rise of the Beasts, Scorponok, and Double Punch. So to be honest, I really don't want him because I have Fugitive Wasp. It's a repaint. Well, repaint's a repaint, and a repaint. And if you're gonna really get on the nerves about repaints, freaking 1, 2, 3 right there. So, I mean, yeah, we've also got Bumblebee Movie Soundwave. We've also got Bumblebee Movie Rumble and Frenzy. I just need them to stand back up, along with Ravage and right there as well. So, yeah, the core classes have a tendency to fall over. So let's get you standing back up here. There we go. So there's all three of them right there. There's Mohawk. I'm missing his knife somewhere around here. So what is the Hallmark Daylight I saw a moment ago? You will get to see that in a moment there, Riveted. Also, I think the Legacy Bumblebee looks a little weird. I mean, it looks cool, but I just don't like how that version of Bumblebee looks. I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't a bad version, but it's not the greatest one that they've ever created and or come out with. So I would not fret too much about that. So, but to continue with this, we got Battle Trap, we got Nightbird, we got Freezer, excuse me, and then we've got Sideways, we've got the freaking Psycho from Borderlands. By the way, Borderlands is one of my favorite games, specifically Borderlands 2. We got Bumblebee Movie Shockwave. We got Rise of the Beast Scourge. We got Studio Series Stinger. We got Widowmaker back here as well, next to Soundwave, whom is going to get squished back here a smidge. We also got Galvatron in the back as well, so there's that. Then we come down here to the more Movieverse Autobots. This is where my Autobots live. I have Age of Extinction Prime back there, sitting next to Age of Extinction Ratchet. This is the new version of Bumblebee from the Bumblebee movie, and it is quite possibly my favorite version of Bumblebee that they ever made, and I just can't complain about it in the slightest. I ended up getting that from a trade, which was quite nice. That hot rod I got basically for free. And we also have the Revenge of the Fallen Sideswipe, which, again, you can't complain because he looks damn good. So we have that, and then we also have Q. We've got Dino, to which Dino is... I got to figure out what I want to do with him. Because I know at some point when they do release the Dark of the Moon 3-pack, because I know they're going to do that, or 4-pack or 5-pack or whatever it be, Sideswipe and Dino are going to end up in a pack with him, Crankcase, and Highbar. Or Crowbar, excuse me. I like the Volkswagen car mode more than any of his other cars. I agree with you on that one. Their little I definitely agree with you on that one. So we have that. And then if we continue on here, that is not the original Dark of the Moon Leadfoot. That is a... yo, what's up, Autobot7177? How you doing? Welcome to the chat. That is not the original Dark of the Moon. That is actually a knockoff of the original Dark of the Moon, which I personally like that one better. That's just me, but I do have, this is real. That is the original evac from Universal Studios, and I do have the box here to show and prove. So that is the original evac right there. So you have that. And then as soon as we go continuing on, we've got Topspin, we've got Roadbuster, we've got and we've also got Jolt here. We've got the 3 RC triplets sitting right there. And then we get into Rise of the Beasts. So in Rise of the Beasts, we got Wheeljack. We've also got Jazz sitting right there from the '07 movie. We got Razor. We got that. We got Air Razor. We got Rhinox. We got Link. And then we've got Optimus Primal all the way back there. We've got Optimus Prime, Cheetor, Mirage. We've got Bumblebee. We've got RC. And that's pretty much it for all of that one. Hold on. Yeah, I can agree with you. I'm more used to the Volkswagen Bumblebee more than the Chevy Bumblebee. I personally like the Volkswagen Bumblebee more because of the fact that he just looks better. Have you disintegrated TF1 Starscream out of hate yet? Nope! He's still sitting right there. But, and I'm used to seeing Bumblebee looking like that as a Volkswagen. I do agree with you on that one. But as we move down to the next shelf here, we do have the Transformers 1 crew sitting right here. We do have Optimus Prime back there. We got Starscream. We got Sentinel as well. There's Badassatron, Elita 1, and D16, otherwise known as Megs. So I don't know why, but the older or vintage cars just look so good. They do and don't, in my opinion. I mean, they're great in the sense that they're good for it, but I do not appreciate some stuff because I definitely think that some cars need a modern take on the robot modes, or the robots need a modern take on cars. Like, take note, I can understand why Michael Bay chose to do a Camaro versus, a Volkswagen Beetle. I understand that. I understand that. I don't know why, but it could be worse. So, but anyways, so moving back along down here, we've got all the Transformers 1 crew. Now we're getting into our crossover stuff. So back here we got Agent Knight. Oh, my favorite. Then on this, they need to redo TF1 Optimus Prime Megs and Megs' Voyagers. They're not, looks like Volkswagen will be moving more, but I don't think they need to be leaders or Voyagers. I think if they're going to do that, they might be able to do something with him, but I think they'll be able to do much with him. So, but we also got Blue Booster and I can't speak now. We have Blue Booster and Twin Tail, I think. But then we also got Ectotron. We've got Leonardo, freaking Transformer party wall up there. And the reason why I have Age of the Prime Skybite sitting right here next to him is because he fits the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle vibe. He really does. And then way off in the corner, we have Bullseye and Target Optimus Prime, because why not? And we've also got some Halo figures sitting inside a drop shield. So, yeah. But that's not all, folks. That's not all. We're not finished. We're not quite finished yet. Oh, no. There's more to be shown. Way more to be shown. So, moving right along down here, this is where I keep a lot of my other collection stuff. So, for example, this is the 86 Optimus Prime box, and we have a few other boxes sitting inside here, so I do maximize space. So, and we have, by the way, these are all of the UK DVDs, so you cannot play these on a regular DVD player in America. You have to have a Region 2 or 3 DVD player. Yeah, I know. My camera is having an aneurysm. It's pain in the ass. I'm sorry. So, I'm trying to focus on every figure you own. LOL. Collection is rad, by the way. Thanks. I appreciate it. The Porsche Transformer from Rise of the Beasts looked good, but sucked transforming. I say that because mine broke real quickly. You know what's funny? I actually had this transformed at one of my buddy's houses, and take note, I am pissed off at how much I paid for this dude. I bought this dude from a scalper, and the dude literally popped him out of the packaging and popped him back in and sold me the figure for 50 bucks. I apologize, it's having a problem focusing on shit because there's so much to be focused on. So, but yeah. So anyways, these are all of the UK DVDs from Thomas the Tank Engine, so you cannot watch those in America. I paid 30 bucks. I paid 50. Yeah, I wasn't happy with that. But we got some other, whoa, geez, apologies about that, folks. We got Tommy Boy, we got Friend or Foe, Patrick Star, the fifth and sixth season. We paid 70 for Leader Class Megatron. That means you paid 70 for Leader Class Megatron. I paid $64.99. So this is just a box for the new Flying Scotsman that's floating around on top there. And I do like me some South Park. I do. So they need to remake him without the clear. I agree. They do need to make him without the clear plastic joints. I agree. And here's some more stuff of that nature. By the way, you should definitely watch Halo Legends. It's a really good show. So, and I also have this is a Japanese or this is an American dub of the Japanese headmasters. So, yeah. But that's not all, folks. That's not all. We have way, way, way more to continue with. As I stated, I not only am a Thomas the Tank Engine fan, or a Transformers fan, but I am also a Thomas the Tank Engine fan. So seriously, there's tons of stuff. I got Mirage for retail, but not even worth that. You can definitely tell the Porsche made them prioritize the alt mode to get the license. This is true. I definitely agree with you there. That is 100% true with that one. It is ridiculous that they even decided to make that the price point for it. I got to be honest with you, that Rise of the Beast Mirage is okay, but I seriously am not a big fan of the fact that the transformation is what kills me every time. Because it's like it's so brittle that you feel like he's just going to break apart. So, yeah. So anyways, Thomas and the Magic Railroad. This is the 20th anniversary. That came out about 4.5 years ago. So definitely would 100% recommend you watch that. If you are a Thomas the Tank Engine nerd, you don't have to if you don't want to. But I got loads and loads and loads and loads of DVDs. And here's where it gets even more entertaining. I have loads and loads and loads and loads of VHS tapes. And here's where it gets even more sad. I also collect more VHS tapes. But these other ones at the bottom here are more along for me. So, yeah. But that's also not where it ends either. Because we move over here to the video cabinet. This is my regionless DVD player. Hold on here. I went and filed down the clear tabs on the back window so it doesn't fuse with the legs. Hold on here. I feel like a brain surgeon trying to it is a brain surgery. It is brain surgery. And you're definitely correct on that front there, Gordon the Glowworm. What do you prefer, the model trains? Oh, without question, it's the model question. It's the models. The models, dude, without question. Without question. But if there's one thing that tops the models, it's the Railway series. To which, FYI, I have the Railway series by him. I know it says Thomas the Tank Engine, but it is the Railway series. So one wrong move and he is cooked. What, me? Oh, with this dude, yeah. Yeah, I do agree with you there. But no, this is the original Railway series book. So it has all of the original illustrations from the Reverend Wilbur Awdry in there, and it's also got the letter to his son that he does in there, and it's really beautiful. So I cannot complain about that. This is called the Railway series, but it says Thomas the Tank Engine on it because it's the reprint for the Scholastic book. So this is the whole deal. That is the real deal. So, but once again, that doesn't end there. Doesn't end there. We got stuff on the walls. We've got a Deadpool poster. We've got Do or Do Not, There Is No Try. We have Amon. But this is my favorite. This is one of my favorite ones that I've got. Is the Venom poster here, or Venom getting killed by Carnage, and or vice versa. But this was the last concert I went to that was From Ashes to New. I did get to go see this, and this album is probably one of the best. So, yeah, I agree with you on that one there, Autobot7177. I do agree with you on that front. The Wheeljack's transformation's pure cancer. It's just trash. And real quick, I did get this piece of confetti at the Bring Me the Horizon show. So that is where that went from. And same thing goes for the rest of this. There's my ODST flag. There's my other poster and my VIP pass that I went to go see. So there's that. And yeah. All right. This one's for you, Riveted. There you go. Yes, that is exactly what it was. So you did call it out on that front, and you were correct. So, anyways, we are going to go to. We're going to go back to the other room, and we are going to finish out this live stream. So, here we go. There we are. All right, a very disappointing figure for me was Netflix Sparkless Bot, the epitome of no quality control. Not one joint on that thing floppy. Suck even more considering he was my first figure back in collecting. I am sorry that you had that. What Transformer has the worst transformation? I mean, for some reason, what it sounds like you're gonna say that Wheeljack, but is the worst Transformer you own to transform? No. Okay. Really, we can actually go back into the room, and I'll tell you which one the worst one was for me to even consider. So it's actually this one. Freaking hated transforming this guy. Like, seriously, the legs are what killed me the most. Now, another one that I absolutely hated transforming was Studio Series 32 Optimus Prime. Because the front of the truck that connects to it, the tab is easily snappable. There's no easy way for you not to snap that tab in the backpack. So it's really frustrating when they make figures like that and then don't really say, "Oh yeah, it's going to be a pain in the ass for you to do later." So, yeah, that's where I did not appreciate that one. Another one that I hadn't had issues with was actually, I think it was actually Combiner Wars Magnus too. So, but that's pretty much it for Transformers that we had issues with. So, anyways, we are going to end this stream here fairly soon. If anybody wants to comment some more, you're more than welcome to. Don't forget to subscribe if you guys have not done so, because I definitely appreciate your subscriptions and your patronage to my channel, because it definitely helps out the channel grow. So apparently the 20th anniversary Studio Series Optimus Prime is just the Studio Series 30 again? What? I thought that was 32. Yeah, that one's 32. Studio Series 38. Oh, okay. I was gonna say I remember it being a 32, but no. Yeah, that I am not caught up on any of this. It's okay, but the 20th anniversary of Studio Series Optimus Prime. That's not coming out for another year, but I wouldn't be surprised if that is the case. So, yeah, the listing for 2027. Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm fine with that. I'm actually fine with that. And the reason why I say I'm fine with that is because of two reasons. Number one, it's the 20th anniversary, and two, it's gonna be a different figure. Not as in like it's gonna be a completely different mold or anything of that nature, but it's gonna be painted different. It's gonna come in a different type of packaging. I have a feeling it's probably gonna be in the More Than Meets the Eye collection in 2027. So I would not be surprised about that. So, yeah. To which, that being said, what do you guys think about the fact that Michael Bay might be returning to the franchise, or he is returning to the franchise, and they've already confirmed a script is in production? Watch some dude get it 10 months before it releases to the public. Yeah, that's going to be entertaining because, well, I wouldn't say some dude. Do 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 do. So, yeah, you know exactly who I'm talking about, though, Little Erm. You know exactly who I'm talking about. So, crime versus crime. I'm gonna use that now. I'm using that. That is 100% correct. There's a reason I stopped paying attention to his shit, and it was because of the fact that he literally was stealing figures from Hasbro. And everybody was like, well, if you had the opportunity to get it early, wouldn't you? No, because it's an unfinished problem. Like, seriously, if you get a figure that is still basically hot, fresh off the mold, why on earth would you want an early access to a mold that hasn't even been, like, the kinks haven't really been worked out, the things that really anything of that nature. Hold on, I often end up annoying others because I'll randomly start humming Thomas's theme from season 5. Yeah, I agree with you on that one. Bro pays hundreds to thousands for early figs with no quality control. Exactly, I agree with you on that one, Autobot 7177. Man, I could totally sing you the Thomas the Tank Engine theme song if you wanted me to. I would not have a problem singing it either. So I mean, maybe a week at most, right before it is released to the public. That's the catch, though, is I would not have a problem if it was released a week to 2 weeks early. I would not have a problem with that. But because he gets them almost like freaking a year in advance, that's when I'm like, that's when I have to sit there and go, okay, buddy, stop stealing shit. Stop paying thousands of dollars for shit like this. You are literally stealing from the factory, and you're making everybody else have to watch it. And at the same time, you yourself are losing money on this. Like Legacy Blitzwing. Yeah, I know he had it almost a year in advance. The one that really pissed me off the most was actually Studio Series 86 Scourge. So I wanted some. I figure I saw, and it said August. It was like February or March. Yeah. My thing is that I don't watch him because of how bad that actually gets. Because if you're going to seriously sit there and tell people, "Oh yeah, well I got myself early access," no, you did not. You did not do the shit, dude. You didn't do shit. You just basically paid. You just basically paid almost 1,000 to two, like eight to $900 to almost $1,000 to get a figure as early as it is, and then you sit there and you're like, oh yeah, it's a great figure, it's a terrible figure. Don't waste your money like that. Wait for it to come out or put it on pre-order like the rest of us do. Pretty sure Chieftron does it too. If I don't see the box, exactly. That's my thing. Is if I don't see the box, I don't trust it. I agree with you on that one, 7177. I agree with you there. Because if I don't see the box, why am I what am I supposed to be excited for here? This is not a good thing. It's not a good look either. And I do think you're correct about Chieftron, but the only catch with him is I think he actually lives in the Philippines or the areas that the Hasbro factories are. So in his case, I can understand it a smidge better, but I don't agree with it. Toys R Us gets them early from Hasbro. That's cool. That's great. But I mean, at the same time, like I said, I don't really think I don't think that that should be an acceptable thing for anybody to do, and I think it's really, really ridiculous. Unless you actually get a letter from Hasbro or a sponsorship from them, I don't trust your review, and I don't trust it. I don't trust any of it. Because I know that in the end, if I spend that money to go get that, he does. Yeah, okay. Like I said, Chieftron's case I can understand a little bit more because he actually lives in the area. Very British man, guys. I stole from some worker to get a figure not even made and get pissed because it's still being put into the mold. Exactly. Agreed with you on that one. Very British man, guys. I stole from some workers to get a figure not even made and get pissed because it's still being put into the mold. Has to return them after. Okay, again, Toys R Us is doing that. That's pretty cool. What's your favorite weirdest looking Transformer? Um, weird looking. That's a different one. Well, I mean, you're kind of staring at it right now. I mean, I've never seen a Transformer with 6 legs like this, aside from Black Arachnia and Tarantulas. So and take note, they had 8 legs, not 6. But I gotta say, this is definitely an interesting look. So my friend, hold on, he turns into a tank. Oh, kind of like the Griffin thing that counts. You think Michael Bay will finish what he started or do something else? Okay, me personally, I would like to see Michael Bay's version of Bumblebee, because from what I heard about that was that there was a script in production, it got approved, Michael Bay had filming plans set, and then they decided to can the project in favor of a different script for Travis Knight. So I feel like the attempted reboot failed. I agree with you to an extent. I agree with you. Now, somebody in Facebook got upset at me because I made a statement that I personally believe is correct, and the reason I believe it's correct is because I have yet to see a Transformer movie do something like this. Okay? Now, I'm going to make a statement here that's going to probably sound a little bit controversial for a lot of Transformers nerds. So please bear with me when I say that Bumblebee is probably the best movie for the Transformers franchise that has ever come out. The reason why I say this is because it focused more on character development and the plot. It didn't focus on it didn't focus on literally like something that had nothing to do with the Transformers whatsoever. Like, for example, in Revenge of the Fallen, there's a scene where they're literally just driving. And it's like, okay, you're just driving, but where are you driving to? Why are we driving there? Who are you driving? Anything of that nature? I'm very frustrated with that. So, yeah, I feel Bumblebee and hold on. Very close in quality. Prime Megan Fox. Take note. I don't have a problem with Michael Bay's first 4 films. Okay, so I haven't seen every Transformers movie yet, but my favorite is the 30th anniversary one, the original. Okay, I can agree with you there. The 1986 movie is 100% always will and always will be the best Transformers movie that has ever been released, specifically because it is more of an entertaining story about leaders falling and a new leadership rising, which is, again, I appreciate that. Love the story. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay? Now, the reason why I put Bumblebee in second is because Bumblebee focused, like I said, on character development and the plot. I have a question. Which one is worse? Without question, The Last Night. Without question, The Last Night. And my reasoning for that is that, I feel like Michael Bay should not have made The Last Night in response to Age of Extinction. Because Age of Extinction was a perfect ending point. The first 30 and the last 15 minutes of the 86 movie. I'm personally all about the whole thing with it because I loved the whole movie. So I mean, take note, I can't complain about it. But let's see here. So, like I said, without question, The Last Night is definitely the worst Transformers movie that has ever been produced. Seriously, that one. If I had to rank all of the movies of the let's see, there's '07, Revenge of the Fallen, Dark of the Moon, Age of Extinction, The Last Night, Bumblebee, Transformers 1, Rise of the Beasts. So of the 8 movies, I gotta place them in this order. Wheelie can be erased from history. I like the first 30. Well, okay. So in my personal order, without question, 86 is always going to be reigned supreme, which is why I cannot add it to this list. So, my list starts off with Bumblebee, without question. The reason being is it focused on character development, it focused on the plot, it didn't focus on everything that made the Transformers movies up to that point. It was a different take on a story that worked out. I despise that little orange turd. Well, you can despise him all you want. He's still a leader of the Autobots. So, But anyways, Hot Rod made me a baguette. Funny. Very funny. Anyways, but Bumblebee reigns supreme in that category. The second one that I hold much more dear to my heart would be Dark of the Moon, because that is it. Number two would be Dark of the Moon. The third one, I got to place '07. That one, without question, is also a really good movie for me because it is a movie that basically it's the start of a franchise. The new Skybound comics are peak. I got the first 12 issues in the deluxe hardcover book. Our Little Comedian. Hot Rod Rodimus Prime rules. Well, hey, I wouldn't complain about that because I definitely agree with you on that front. I don't think Hot Rod killed Megatron or Optimus Prime. Okay? I'm gonna put that right out there right now. Yo, what's up, Lemon Lime? How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Anyways, the reason why I say I do not think that Hot Rod killed Optimus Prime is because Optimus Prime had every opportunity to shoot Megatron and he chose not to. I like Grimlock and Wheelie because one arm is bent and the arm is straight out. You can make him dab and then the arm covers the face. I don't really care about Wheelie dabbing, but anyways, so like I said, I don't think that happened. So Lambo go vroom. But like I said, I do not think that Hot Rod killed Optimus Prime. He had every opportunity to shoot Megatron at every given moment and did not do it. So wonder if Bay was going to make French Rod Optimus Prime eventually. I definitely okay. I'm gonna put it to you this way. I think that was just Michael Bay attempting to do fan service in a terrible way. Okay? I feel like if they were to do Hot Rod in a better way, and I think if they had actually brought Judd Nelson back to voice him, I think that would have been perfect. That being said, what's up, Lemon Lime? But like I said, glad good you also Hot Rod. Thank you. I agree with you there. Seriously, Optimus Prime had every opportunity to shoot Megatron, and he chose not to, and he hesitated, and Megatron took advantage of that hesitation. That is exactly how it goes. Hot Rod just happened to be there seeing what happened, and Hot Rod just happened to be the wrong place at the wrong time. That's the way I look at it. So, Optimus Prime had to get in that witty banter than rather finishing the fight. Now I'm thinking of Halo. Yeah. You know what's crazy? Theoretically, they could have gotten Galvatron's OG voice actor for Age of Extinction. They kind of did. Well, they could have. Wait a minute. When did Leonard Nimoy die? Well, actually, the reason why I say that that's fine that he didn't do that is because Frank Welker came back for that. And I'm perfectly fine with Frank Welker taking back the role of Galvatron and Megatron. I'm fine with that. Like 26, I can't remember when he died, but I know I got to go see his Spock uniform, his original Spock uniform, at the Pacific Science Center when they were doing a Star Trek themed thing for him. I do remember going to go see that. It was pretty cool to go see the original Spock costume that he wore. It was pretty cool. So, yeah, he could have voiced him. I think it would be it could have been interesting if he did do that. I think it could have been interesting. Would not have been an issue for a lot of people. But like I said, there were multiple different people that they could have chosen for Galvatron's role, and I think it was nice that they chose Frank Welker because Frank Welker also voiced him in the G1 cartoon. So I can't complain about that. And when I say the G1 cartoon, I mean the cartoon actual show, not the movie. We all know Leonard Nimoy did that. I got to be in the same building as Peter Cullen, but it was you guys I actually got to meet him once. I got to see him at TFCon 2023, and it was the TFCon LA. So it was good. Another thing, 2025 went by so quick. It's only 3 more months technically too, because we're in October right now. It's just so crazy to think that it went by so quick. I think it's interesting that it went by pretty quick. But I gotta also say this too. It was hold on, Brody beyond side quest. So, anyways, so number 2 is Good Lord. Dark of the Moon. Number 3 is '07 for me. Number 4, Age of Extinction. Then after that, I'm going to place, I know, right? Where did September go? I'm going to be honest with you. September is a bit of a blur because a lot of things happened in September. We lost how many celebrities in a week? We literally lost 4 celebrities within a week. And there's only 3 of them that I can remember. There was Malcolm Jamal Warner, Hulk Hogan, and Ozzy Osbourne. And just yesterday, we lost another one. For those of you who do not know, the late great Dame Catherine Patricia Routledge, otherwise known as the lady of the house, the bucket lady from the show Keeping Up Appearances. Gotta admit, Frank Welker did Galvatron very well in the movie. Galvatron is a strong, no-nonsense leader who Leonard Nimoy's voice was great for, but Frank Welker was perfect for season 3's crazy. Yeah, I agree with you on that one there, Riveted. So there's that. If September didn't exist, I would believe because Silk Song is a month old at this point. You know, like I said, there was way, way, way too much that went down in September for everybody to seriously go, we have Halloween to continue going to. So, yeah. But like I said, number 4 is definitely Age of Extinction for me. Number 5, I have to put Transformers 1 in that category. For number 6, crap was going down. Oh yeah, lots of crap was going down last month. We're not going to talk about all of it. We're going to let it be. It's already been discussed. We're in October. October's already going wild. It's not going extremely wild, but it's getting there. It's getting there. It's definitely getting there, and I'm like, can 2025 just end already? So we're not going to discuss it because we don't need to go that far into things that go down in the world because that's not what we're here to talk about. So, okay. Because you said something about that, I'm going to say one thing. I live not too far away from where the assassin is being held, and I do not live too far away from where he was shot. And I did have friends who were at that debate that did get to witness that. So, yeah. No, I don't really dabble in the Transformers Discord because it's just not something I really give a crap for. I'm gonna be honest with you. Give it a week in some universe eating thing. Oh no, there's always there. You know, we already got confirmation that a fungus can reanimate spiders and other things. So it's like we're getting closer and closer to a comedic level of like Halo reality. Seriously. There's a fungus that reanimates dead insects, and allegedly, if this fungus gets inside of a human, allegedly, it can reanimate a human. I don't think that's real. So, get the heat death of the sun next week. All right, time to make Space Marines for democracy. Yes, I do know about this. I do know about Helldivers 2, but I also do know about Warhammer 40K as well. So I do know about that. It's a pretty good show, or a pretty good thing for the Empire. I know, yeah, it's pretty good. So, yep, liberty. I thought that was funny. For the liberty and democracy. That being said, what do you guys think about the Helldivers 2 and Halo crossover that they did? That is so cool that now we have confirmation that both of them are living within the same universe. I thought that was awesome. That was a genius play on Sony and Microsoft's part. I thought that was so smart. Space King is a fun parody of Warhammer. Yeah. I haven't played much Warhammer, but I do know somebody who does. And he's actually somebody we're going to shout out here in just a few minutes because we are going to end the live stream here, but we're going to end it here. We're going to end it in probably like another 5 minutes or so because it's a little late this evening for people. So we're going to make sure that we can get everybody done before the end of the night because I know also in other states and countries it's late and early in the morning. So, but If you guys got any last questions, comments, concerns, things I should know aside from the fact that bananas are berries, yeah. So, 10:34 for me right now. Or 10:34. Yeah, kind of. It's a little late for some people. I'm not saying it's extremely late, but it's 8:30 where I live, and I don't feel like keeping this going till midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning because I just don't think it's worth my time to do that. And I definitely would be remiss if I was wasting your guys' time for sure. So, you ever get any of the premium finish figures? I got the Studio Series 38. No. Because I'm going to be real with you, I thought that was the dumbest thing. When are you going to end the stream? Probably in a few minutes here. But no, I don't really. I didn't order the. I don't order the Studio Series or the Premium Finish Studio Series figures because honestly, I feel like they charge you extra money for more paint on a figure that's going to chip it within less than 5 minutes. So I just look at that like it's pretty stupid. So, does pineapple belong on pizza? Uh, I'm going to tell you right now, people are probably going to get mad at me for saying this, but no, it does not belong on pizza. Pineapple does not belong on pizza. So the quality control is way better than the normal Studio Series 38. Again, that's great, but I'm fine. I don't need the premium finish. So W take or talkie, I don't know what I don't know. Wake up, wake up. Where I am, it's 9:34. That's nice. You must be living on the East Coast then. And if I had to even deduce it even further, I would say somewhere a little bit closer to like maybe Tennessee, Alabama, Oklahoma area. So I don't know. I don't know, but I'm not gonna guess where people live. I'm not gonna guess where things go because we are going to end the stream here in just a moment. So that being said, if you guys are interested, hold on, price isn't great, but I had no way of getting the normal Studio Series. I don't know if you're mispronouncing Studio Series 32 or if you're mispronouncing Studio Series 38. So I was thinking more or Pennsylvania, yeah, too. I don't. I agree with you, Gordon Glowworm. Pineapple does not belong on pizza. I think that is a abomination to put fruit on pizza. And if someone in the comments even tells me that it belongs on pizza because tomatoes are a fruit, you seriously have some problems. So you're okay. So you're referring to the Bumblebee movie, Optimus. Okay, that makes me feel a little bit more comfortable to know what you're talking about. Okay, I do have that one. It is a good one. I'm not going to complain about it. So yeah. Um, that is. I'm not going to say that's a bad figure to get the premium finish on because I did know that that one was pretty good until they did the re-release of it. So my brother thinks it does and called Transformers corny, a horrible sin. Well, your brother is wrong. Heresy. Oh my gosh. Who speaks of this heresy? So, anyways, all right. So, let's do our outro now, and we are going to do so because we are all family here. And I'm going to say this now, so please do not forget to check out the main channel, which I do have a link to in the description below. And we also do have, I'm going to be shouting everybody out here right about in just a moment here. But so please do not forget to check that out. Do not forget to subscribe for more content so that way you can be notified when we do this guy's review, which will probably come out maybe Tuesday or Wednesday next week. And please do not forget to hit that notification bell so that you can be notified of every stream that we do from this point forward and every video that gets released. So please don't forget to do that. And with my BS out of the way, do not forget to check out Jacob Explorers, the Queen. Do check out also out Zaga the Animator. And please do not forget to check out Fan as well. And also Autobot7177, who is just like we're getting everybody in here as well. So please do not also forget to check out Lemon Lime Studios. So Do not forget to check them out. And please do not forget to check out our regulars on the channel as well. That being Riveted Reviews, Jordy's Rail Videos, Patrick's Voice Rail, Alexander Rothschild. Please show him some love. He really does need it, everybody. So please do not forget to check them out. Do not also forget to check out iStar552, Bravely GG, Take Along Productions, and, well, everybody else has kind of shown up already that we usually do. So do not forget to also check out Kitten Cat 999, and what the heck, we'll throw them out there as well, Trooster Tube. And this is Thomas Fan01 saying, do not forget to keep playing with your toys. Don't forget it. Goodbye. Also, to you as well, little beep, boop, beep.